Good morning and welcome. Let me come on screen. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 451, UK News View. We say hello to Royston Radio, and I'm in the studio. Weird. Okay, I don't know who the guys are. I've got to be honest. I've not heard word one from either of them, and I only hope that they can actually get into the studio. Okay, so I say before they arrive, I'm a Burnley fan. I was born and bred in Burnley in Lancashire, and Burnley are in the Championship this year, having been relegated from the Premiership, and they won 5-0 away last night. So they are going great guns, as they say, and congratulations to the full team and to the boss down at Turf Moor in Burnley. And they are currently in third position in the Championship. So in the playoff places, I think that's a given at the end of the season. Whether they can actually get up to first or second place is up to what happens to Sheffield United and Leeds. So it's Yorkshire versus Lancashire at the top of the Championship. And I'm just going to go and open Messenger. Just give me a second. I need to open the browser. I can go to Messenger on my mobile phone, can't I? So if you're watching live, I'd like to say thank you. And let's go over here and connect the chat. Okay, and say hello. Just a minute. Okay, so we've got the chat connected. I remember to do that bit. And I'm just going over to Messenger, see if we've got any information from Peter and Jon. This is a mystery. Mail's working. Let's go and look for Messenger. I've got 2 messages. And Jon is saying it'll be a couple of minutes late this morning. Well, that's true. And I've not heard from Peter. Peter's not been seen since last night. So Jon is a couple of minutes late. And the show is all mine. Right, I did a broadcast yesterday. I can actually bring this on screen. So let's go for an image and come down here. And I'm looking for a particular image. Yeah. You know when you're looking for things, you can't find them. Okay, so I'm going to bring this on screen. And I'm going to put it next to me. And just run through it. I did a broadcast yesterday. And take myself off solo. Did a broadcast yesterday on the One Stream Live YouTube channel. Every Wednesday, I go broadcasting for One Stream Live on their YouTube channel. And every week I've got a different topic. And the topic this week was, if I go this way and change things up a bit, put it that way. The topic was the best content creation apps for creators in 2025. Now, in the broadcast itself, I played 2 videos which I created with HeyGen. HeyGen, because I love apps and I love video apps. We're at a stage now where video AI is, well, it's becoming professional. In other words, with HeyGen, I've created an avatar, a video avatar of me, and it looks like me, and it dresses as I dress. I've got 20 different avatars, all dressed in various ways. In fact, when I get up in the morning and I put different clothes on, I record a 2.5-minute video, and that gives me a new avatar. So you can use those avatars in videos, and Peter has joined. You can use those avatars in videos, and I've used it in the 2 of the videos I did yesterday. And I don't know how long Jon has been there, but I'm going to add Jon to the stream, and I'm going to add Peter to the stream. Good morning, Jon. Good morning, Peter. How long have you been there?
Well, I did send you a message saying I would be a few minutes late.
You did?
Yeah.
Peter?
On the same way you put the link.
Yeah, in Messenger. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that. I've just read that message on my mobile phone. Hello, Peter.
Hello, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I've sussed out what's causing the. I'm having a big problem logging in nowadays, and you know what it is? It's
Nope.
Surfshark.
It's what?
Surfshark.
Surfshark.
Because it loads you up in a different area of the country.
Oh, you've got a VPN on?
Yeah. Well, I had. I've turned it off.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, some. Just a minute. Let me just hide that card. Okay, so I'm going to remove that from the stream. It should take a second, and then I'm going to go like this, and this should work momentarily. You're using a VPN?
Well, it's there, yes. I use a VPN, Surfshark, but it causes a bit of havoc with logging on. Especially, I've had to log on to Gmail, and then I've had to confirm that, which is two-step, and then onto Facebook, and then it says, is someone else trying to use it? Is it you? And it goes on. Then it says, how's this happening? So I says, right, Surfshark off. And then I got in immediately.
Yeah. Basically, one thing that annoys me, because I've got VPN, which I'll explain why in a moment. But if you go onto bbc.co.uk, the BBC website says, just a minute, you're using a VPN. You're not allowed on the co.uk site. You've got to go to bbc.com, as though you were not in England. And it confuses the hell out of systems. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just gets turned off. Not to on the PC much now, anyway.
Yeah. Well, are there any real benefits to having a VPN these days?
I don't. For me, I don't really think so. Explain to me why I really should be on one.
So that you can be anonymous, so that people can't track back to the fact that you're in the UK, the fact that you're in Scotland, the fact that you're in the north of Scotland. So people can't find you.
I'll tell you where I did use it. Now, you know, I watch auditors. There was one where a man professed to be a policeman, Charlie Veach, the guy's name, and he was very aggressive, and it went on, and it ended up that, watch what I say here, that things weren't quite right. And the last video of when I don't know if it went to court and everything, he says you can only watch it if you have a VPN from another country. All he said, because the outcome was that the guy had a lot of problems, and he tried to take the video down, you know.
Yeah.
And here's the laugh of that one. This guy actually said he was dressed in a t-shirt and jeans, and it was a film crew, and Charlie was. No, a lot of auditors out there now, photography, and they were film. He was just beside a film, and the guy pushed him and pushed him, pushed her. And he says, wait a minute. He says, if you say you're a policeman, I want to see your warrant card. Right? And he pushed, and he got into an altercation. Then a policewoman come over and says, right, that's it. And he says, this man is professing to be a policeman, which is a big no.
Yeah, true.
They never arrested him.
Right.
But it went further than that after that. And the only way I could see the outcome was going in a VPN and going to America to get it. Some sort of legal thing had happened.
Yeah. Right.
And I would call that 2-tier.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you used VPNs, John?
I used to when I wanted to pretend I was in another country to get round, things like you can't come on here because you're not in the right country. But I haven't used one for a long time now.
Yeah. I'm using right now, and it's basically what I've done is my internet. I'm long story short, we know that the guys from GigaNet couldn't actually connect us to the high-speed internet because we're not in line of sight of the telegraph pole. Neighbours refused to have the cable going across, and therefore we're never going to get from GigaNet. We're not going to get fast internet. So now we've got BT looking. So they may do. In the meantime, what I've done is I've taken my mobile phone signal and combined it to my Wi-Fi signal, and I'm now using Speedify to actually use a better internet signal. So hopefully I look perfect today and I can actually move things.
Well, you're fine to me. Is that just recently, Stephen?
It's basically in the last week. I tried it last week. Well, long story short, guys at OneStream said that's crap upload rate. You need better. So I had to get better straight away. So we ordered the fast internet, which comes possibly on the 20th of January. And in the meantime, I knew about Speedify, so I took a month's license on Speedify, and it worked. Well, it's just a vast difference. Being able to combine the two signals, the Wi-Fi and the mobile. So they had a 40% offer, 40% off, which meant I bought it for now. So whatever happens to the pole outside, I've got internet, and it's far more reliable and effective than it's ever been.
It certainly is. I just can't. How did you test it?
Basically, just by recording. Yeah, the quality of the recordings. There's no buffering. Yeah. It's just a lot better. I mean, you can tell.
It's amazing what they can do, is it?
Oh yeah. I mean, the to combine the whole thing costs £75.
Yeah. So Speedify, you open it up, and you dial into your Wi-Fi.
Nope, Speedify. The way you work it is you download your desktop. You then take your mobile phone and Speedify here. You pair the two so that your phone and desktop are linked. That's it. Everything else is automatic. So what it's actually doing is Speedify is running the internet, and it's taking my mobile signal and my Wi-Fi signal, putting them together, and we get a better signal going out, and we've got messages coming in. So let's look at the messages, and we're going to get So first message is
Corinda.
Morning, guys. Morning, Corinda. And next message is it looks like a Corinda message.
That's Corinda.
I'm just waiting. Any news about LinkedIn accused of using private messages to train AI? Everybody's using private messages. No, I've not heard of it. We'll look into it. Wasn't aware of that. Right. Okay. And Corinda's saying, "Hey, Peter," and now, and Corinda's saying, "Looks good, Steve." So, okay, all good.
Very good.
There we are. I've already talked about Burnley's 5-0 win last night, haven't I? So we can take that as read. I talked about that whilst I was at the top of the show. Right. Okay. there's a facility on the Guardian. It's in sections. The front page is in sections. So you've got a sports section, you've got a politics, you had USA section. So there's all the news about the USA was in one section. And the top right-hand corner of every section is a button which says hide. So guess what I've done? I've hidden all the American news from the Guardian. I just had to do it. I think, Peter, what I'm going to do is anything I catch by accident, but I'm not, it's good, but I'm not actually looking out for news from the USA. Are you keeping in touch?
I watch it. Yeah, of course I do. In fact, I was up at 2 this morning because I was up watching his talk with Sean Hannity. And I don't understand why you won't watch it, because you've got to see real news someday, my friend. You know, of course, you're right. Hide the Guardian, because it will be very biased against the new Trump organization. So it's a good thing to hide it, you know. And there's been some marvelous things he's done. What other president would sit there and talk to all the journalists and bat them off, like playing against? He signed things, but he says Joe Biden wouldn't do this, would he? And he answered them all. And what a man!
Yeah, but we've got 4 years, and first thing is I'm hoping to be here in 4 years' time. That's my wish is to be here in January 2029. Okay, I got a question from Corinda, and it's the new Formula 1 season starting in Melbourne soon, and this year Mr. Hamilton is driving for Ferrari, and that is a dream come true. I mean, he spent 12 years with Mercedes, but this year he's driving a Ferrari car. I mean, he's done everything. He's beaten Michael Schumacher's world record. He's the best racing driver of this era. And now he's going to be in a Ferrari.
Yes.
So, good luck to him. He's still British.
I don't understand people standing in the stadium watching cars go around. Oh, there he is. Whoosh. There he is. Whoosh.
But don't you wish, though, that you had the freedom and the car? Would you sit in a Ferrari and drive it at 200 miles an hour? I'm sure you would.
No, not at all.
No?
Not at all. No. Speed kills. Do you know, I came back up from Glasgow yesterday. It's absolutely petrified driving. It was. There's no lights in most of the way up. It's pitch black. You've only got your own lights. But there's so much traffic on the road on the other side, you could never get your full beam on, right? The traffic's coming towards you all the time, you know? And I had to really reduce my speed. It was raining as well, you know? Yeah. It just wasn't a pleasant drive. I don't like driving at night anymore. Really hate it. You know? So I'm not a speedster. In fact, my friend who sometimes drives down when we go to Dundee go down to Dundee for a while, I have to tell him to stop speeding. I was a police advanced driver. I says, you're not in the police anymore. Get in the left lane.
Yeah. Corinda would love to be an F1 driver. Yeah, I suppose closest we get to it is go-karts.
Tell you what I had closest to it, because I used to do it. I had a steering wheel, everything on the computer. Enjoyed that. Flights as well. Driving. I was quite good at it. Coming into the bends and things.
Yeah. All right. What's going on in the world? What's going on in Solihull, John?
Not much. It's raining. It's very grey. there's roadworks about 100 yards from my house. Something to do with the water.
Mm-hmm.
But they arrive at about 9:30 and they leave about 3:30. They've been here 3 days now. Is that a full working day? Or is it they go to the depot first and then they have to go back to the depot at the end of the day?
That would be my guess too.
It's as I used to work in the roads, and a certain process can't be done until another one's done, and it's quite interesting.
My only thought is at 9:30 they've missed the shift for the Land Rover, and we do get a lot of people for the Land Rover go down our road these days.
Yeah. I remember I had a cement mixer in front of me that I was protecting in my impact vehicle, and got to a certain point, and he told me to pull in. He come up and he said, "I've got to go back now." I said, "Why? I'm not all that long." Look. He says, "Yeah." He says, "The cement's starting to dry up. I've got to get it out of here before." You know, the thing it goes on and delivers.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "It's the moisture's not right. I've got to go back." Never even got on the job. Halfway into London. So it's quite interesting, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you probably Aberdeen at the moment is absolutely dead, and no matter what's happening in the city, the Evening Express for local paper online, no matter what they put on, they just get people are trying to do things within the city, and they're just getting hatcheted, you know. And I know a friend that's involved with the Union Street, which is going to be turned into a biking area, you know, for cycles and things like that, one-way system for buses. And the people in Aberdeen just will not accept that the city centre is not the place to go now. It's the outlying facilities. Maybe to get something more entertainment in the city centre. The days of the big shops are over because of the high rates and things, you know. And so that's it. Times changed. There's no person going about shouting, "Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, all is well," then putting on gas lamps anymore.
No, we don't have gas lamps anymore. We've gone beyond that. Yeah, things have changed so quickly. Right, this year is going to be the year of AI, and we're talking about text and images and video. What's your take? Is it a good or bad thing?
John?
I think it's a bad thing. We're losing our own ability to think.
Well, tell you what, but in the Facebook feed you get posts which are year long, and you can tell them by AI. So I just hide them. I've got a new hobby of hiding AI posts, especially the long form ones.
Yeah.
Where it sort of tells us, well, it's like the tabloids used to, a long story to draw you in. So I'm hiding those. Yeah.
Stephen, you keep stuttering.
Okay.
John, there's FA I can do about it.
No, I'm just telling you as feedback for your experiment with your combining of your thing.
Okay. Fine.
If I don't tell you, you don't know, do you? Oh, he's gone now. I've obviously offended him. And
No,
it wasn't
not
meant
no, he'll be going in to sort it out. You'll be listening. Yeah, well, I had someone, it was his son-in-law, and he says, "Oh, how can I get a better signal?" I see you use Deco or Deco. What's that? you know. As you can have one here, one there, 3 of them. And that'll make that's probably one of the best purchases I've ever had.
That's a local issue within your building,
Yes.
your household deco. If you're not getting a good enough signal coming in, it don't matter how much stuff you stick around the house,
Yeah.
you're still going to be having issues.
Yeah. Interesting. So, yeah, so I mean, that was, looking at all my purchases I've had, that was one of my better purchases. You know, you advise us get a new computer, use the mesh, and touch wood, I've never looked back with it. And yeah, what's the best purchase you've ever had with your gadgetry, John?
I like the laptop I bought before Christmas. Have I had one in particular? I mean, my PC I've had a good few years now and still performs really well, and that's a Dell.
Okay.
But it's a Dell gaming PC.
Yeah.
But the new laptop is very thin, very small, and much more powerful than my desktop PC. It's got
I didn't think laptops would still be a thing.
Sorry?
I thought laptops might be old hat now.
No, latest laptops. I mean, you can do anything on this laptop, editing, videos, you name it, because it's got everything you would want, and it's thin like that, and virtually no bezel around the screen, so you get a big picture on a 16-inch screen. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. But I don't think I have a particular. I tell you the one bargain I bought, and I'm now going to curse it. I bought a A3 HP printer in a sale. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that I've had it 5 years now, and it performs unbelievably well. And it cost me 86 quid. If you want to try and buy an A3 printer, you know, the only issue with it is that the cartridges are like 140 quid for a set of cartridges. But I found out that you can change the firmware in it so that you can use third-party cartridges. And so I've downgraded, denigrated, whatever you want to say, of the firmware so it doesn't say, oh, you can't use this cartridge, it's foreign. Yeah. Okay. And it performs perfectly with a set of cartridges that cost me 35 quid off Amazon.
You see, shouldn't that be law that just like car places now, if you buy a car, a certain make a car, you can go to any garage now?
Well, you've been able to do that for a long time. Yeah. The only benefit is while you've still got warranty, they can't say, well, so-and-so did it or they didn't look after it. Yeah. So if you take it, my Kia to the Kia can I just answer this? I'm afraid it's
that's okay. You take it.
Okay.
I'll just sit here, cut yourself off. Anyway, folks, thank you for coming to the show. Cut yourself off, John. And,
hang on a second.
So Stephen's in the background. He's got a new system to get a better control, and so I'm just going to talk about what's happening in Britain today. I'm going to tell you, I don't think Sir Keir Starmer will be here at the end of the year. He will in life, but as the Prime Minister, I think that his numbers and days in office are vastly diminishing. And I'll tell you who's going to be the ones that make sure he's got a downfall. And it's his own party. It won't need anybody else to do it for him. It's with in his own party because it's been a horrendous first period. Now, I don't know if you know about this. I'm an ex-soldier. But the newest one is that they're going to tax. It's maybe changed nowadays, but if you die in service in the British Army, you get money for your wife, etc. But in modern society, these guys have now got girlfriends who have got children to, etc. And if they've bequeathed the money to the girlfriend, they're going to tax it. How low can you go to get your money in? It's absolutely abhorrent. So we've got the pensioners. Now listen, I'm 65 now. In my house in the morning school, I've had to get a heating blanket and put over my legs. And that is no joke. And it's actually a present I bought to my partner many years ago. And because I'm a cold-bodied person, because of diabetes, and my body gets cold, I go into like a coma. So Sheila climbed into the loft, very fit 70-year-old she is, and she took down a blanket that I'd bought for her, but she put it up there because she thought she was still a teenager. And she took it down, and I put it on this morning, so I'm watching the news and that, and she's not getting it back. And it was absolutely wonderful. And I also need an electric blanket at night now, because I live in a Swedish house, and these Swedish houses were built for the oil people, and they were built quite quick. And they can get quite cold if your heating's not on. But we can't put our heating on a lot just now, because of the cost of it, you know. So how's John back? So that's the position I'm in now. I'm feeling it as nearly a pensioner, and Sheila's a pensioner. I don't know if she would have got the 300 or so. Sheila is a waspy woman, but there is talk of Scotland's waspy woman getting some money. Did you know about that, John?
Well, they've been told they're not going to get any from the from the UK government.
Yeah. So
Celia's a waspy as well.
Yeah. So Anasawa has said he's going to give, or that was the news, proposed to give the waspy woman money. You see, it's so different in Scotland. You know, this is the problem I've got. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do it. But the problem is for him, it's the Labour Party that's saying it, Anasawa. But remember, we've still got an SNP Scottish government at the moment, although it's vastly diminishing. And of course, the other news from Scotland is that Nicola Sturgeon and her husband have parted. You may know that already.
Yeah, it's been on all the papers down here. I'm sorry I disappeared. My medical appointment for tomorrow was being cancelled. So.
And there you go, Britain. It's Britain for you. Your cancellation of your appointments. Who's this? Is that Corinda? I thought Scotland is warm. Corinda, you've got to be joking.
I think Corinda needs to visit you in the middle of January and find out what reality is.
Talking about dentists, an Indian dentist. We had a lot of locum dentists here, and I went there, and there was 2 Indians working in the surgery and doing my teeth. And a little Indian lady, she couldn't get my tooth out. And she had to get the guy from next door to come in, pull the teeth out. She just didn't have the strength. I'll never forget, it went ping. Anyway, so chatting to her, how are you enjoying Scotland? She says, we're leaving, it's too cold.
Celtic Football Club tried to recruit somebody from a London team. He declined on the basis of the cold weather.
Right. Well, because,
Yeah.
well, I'm actually scared to go to my bed just now because I'm getting horrendous cramps at the moment.
Huh?
Horrendous. And so that's why I'm up quite a lot. I'm actually scared to go to sleep. It's so painful. So I'm going to have to go and see about that. And I can't think of anything else. It's on the news at the moment. But I'll tell you what I've noticed recently. Do you know we've got 3 long-distance bus services in Aberdeen now? We've got a new one that's all, I can't remember the name, but it is up-to-date buses, brand new, all the mod cons on them, and they're run by electric only. Electric. And we've got Stagecoach or Magic Bus, and the other one, there's another one. So we've got three sets of buses going down, and when you look at them, they're not full. The early morning bus usually gets packed, but all the other buses, the government's paying for them to run a route.
Yeah, we have. We had 2 buses that ran outside the house, not operated by West Midlands, but operated by a third party thing. And I've never seen more than 4 people on there. They're not full size buses; they're smaller buses.
Yeah,
Never seen more than 4 people on it. And over the new year, they combined 2 routes into one.
Yeah.
And I've still not seen more than 4 on it, but most of the time when they go past, they're empty.
Oh,
they're all being run by West Midlands County, not National Express runs the Birmingham buses.
It's such a state. But here's one thing Trump's done. What was one big one that he done apart from the border and putting evolved vehicles? You see what he's done?
I haven't paid that much attention to.
So what he's done, he's stopped basically forcing everybody to get electric cars now. It's off. Right. Finished. He said if you want to buy a car in the US, you will be able to get an American-made car as well. So he's looking to get people to, and that goes to Mr. Musk will be worried about that one, I would think. But he says you can buy any car. Yeah.
So does that mean you won't be able to buy a Volkswagen now because they're all made in Mexico, aren't they?
Well,
they want to put 10,000 troops on the border as well, apparently.
His own troops.
Yeah.
He'll need to do that for a while because he's showing force at the moment. He's showing force. Now, when you let the J6 people out of jail, get out of jail,
yeah,
the prisons weren't letting them out, and there's a bit of a hullabaloo with that at the moment, you know. And some of them saying we're getting beat up and everything. So that's a bit of a problem. And the other thing he's done, he's banned 51 people in the security industry who had access to the penthouse, whatever you call it. The security clearance is gone.
Well, he sacked the female admiral that was in charge of the Coast Guard as well.
Yeah.
Because
it's only
like nothing when you think of it over here, but Coast Guard is a huge thing because they have 2 massive, 2 sides and across the bottom, so they have a massive sea thing.
Yeah. Well, you stopped all DI. You get the job if you're capable, which is a great idea. And I mean, there's over 200 of them. Couldn't think that. Do you know the only person, right? Joe Biden, when he left, despite saying he says, I will not pardon my family. No, I'm not the person that does that. What did he do in his last day?
Pardoned everybody under the sun.
Pardoned his family. Who did he not pardon as a matter of interest? Guess.
The rioters, I presume.
the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
All right.
Now, this is interesting because that's her now left open for getting brought up in charges or whatever because of the information that's coming out. And I think that at some point Nancy had orchestrated Joe's downfall by saying, if you don't do what you're saying and let Kamala go, we're going to invoke the 25th Amendment, which basically is you're not fit enough to be the president. And now he's left it open. Yeah. And they're investigating how she became a multi-millionaire on a wage that she gets from the government. You know? So all these things are going on at the moment in America. And wow, I've never seen 78-year-old, I've never seen a man move so fast in all my life at getting things done. But you probably don't know most of it, do you?
No.
Okay.
I'm not particularly interested in what goes on in the States.
Okay, so what are you interested that goes on in Britain at the moment then?
Potholes? That's a big thing round here. Potholes, would you believe?
Yeah, no.
A lot of fuss. And then, although I live in Solihull, I live pretty close to Birmingham. I only live about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles inside Solihull from the Birmingham border. And yesterday, the people of Acox Green, which is the next area along, they'd been shouting about things so long. They actually got the council, Kia, who are the contractor for filling in post holes, they got their area person, they got the council's area person, the local council, the Britain in Bloom lady. You think Britain in Bloom, what influence would they have? But she has enough influence that she was given an MBE last year. So, you know. And then they made these team walk around the main roads and pointed out all the potholes. And then Roger Hamer, the local councillor, took photos of them all. And while they were doing it, they found COVID posters that should have been removed years ago and loads of advertising posters that they were also scheduled to be removed.
Yeah, so, of course, you know, have you heard of Mr. Pothole?
No.
Oh, right. If you watch Jimmy Hughes, he goes there. Mr. Pothole he's an expert in claiming against potholes for damages and things like that. And as a thing, if the council know about it and they haven't paid it yet, you've got a claim. If they don't, I believe, don't think me that. If you go into a pothole and the council don't know about it yet, I believe you can't claim because they never knew about it and never got a chance to sort it. It's crazy. So he's got to register all the potholes on his website, you know. And he's been in Sky TV and Sky, all these sorts of things, and he knows it inside out. Now, I'm just going to ask, Stephen, my friend, are you still here? I'd like you to come back.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully
he's got his microphone muted. So
yeah, I saw that. I hope. I mean, it was very workable. So, Stephen, it was very, very workable. And I think it was just John pointing out that it's still a bit glitches, you know. So, anything else to talk about that you know about that would amuse me? No cricket, no football, right? I'm going to look up X, right, and see what's trending. This is what I need to see what's trending. And trending on X, let me see, for me, I think, well, one of the things, SNP comes up. I think it's time Mr. Morrell must put out of his misery and charge him, take him to court and see what's going to happen. Don't you? But Peter Morrell
Yeah,
ex.
that's the husband. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a Storm Owen coming up. It's it's trending. And then next is Reform. Have you heard of them, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the MP for Southend's party, isn't it?
No, not Southend. Clacton.
Is it Clark? I thought he was Southend's MP. Doesn't matter anyway. Over that way.
So that's in it. President Putin's come up. Now, why's he come up? So this is just what they call trends. Donald J. Trump. I'm not looking to hurt Russia. I love the Russian people and always had a very good relationship with President Putin. And this, despite the radical left's Russia hoax, we must never forget that Russia helped us win the Second World War and lost almost 60 million or whatever it was people. But he has been a bit stern, I believe, and said, look, this war needs to stop. And I can't remember what he actually said. He's been on to both of them. So, and the other one is the Israeli hostages that have been freed. That's good to see. And hopefully there will be a lot more. I can't understand why if it was 100 hostages, just hand over 100 hostages, And if they want 1,000 odd people, give them 1,000 odd people back. They'll save Israel money. Yeah. So that's me kind of thinking of what's going on at the moment in the world. I just can't think of anything else at this point in time. Yes. John, over to you.
Over to me. Gosh, what is there to talk about? That's not football. And now I'm stuttering as well. So I wonder quite what's going on.
That's okay. Just work through it. Am I stuttery to you? What am I like?
Perfect. I don't know. Anyway,
I thought
it's just a sign of the times, isn't it? The internet's not great at times.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, you would think all our internet would be super duper fast. I think Mr. Musk might sort that out one day. What can you tell me about his system? Do you know anything about it? Is it Starlink?
Starlink. I see lots of good things about Starlink, but mainly from people who live in vans that they've converted to mobile homes. What do you call this? Mobile homes are not the right word, is it? You've got, haven't you? What do you call your wagon?
It's a camper van.
Camper van. Okay. Yeah. And people who live in the countryside who can't get any broadband whatsoever, they use Starlink as well.
And
it's quite expensive, apparently. It's like 90 odd quid a month.
When he got in there, is he always putting on new communications to make it better? No, putting more. What is it? Things that float in the air up in the atmosphere.
Things that float over. Yeah. I'm having the same mental block as you now. Satellites.
Satellites was the word. And did they stay in the same place all the time then?
Well, they orbit, don't they? But
do they?
Yeah.
Talking about orbit, I happened to come across some ham radio, right? And what amazed me, the people are up in space just now, right?
Yeah.
They've got a ham radio type thing, and when they go over areas, all the ham people are waiting for them,
right?
And they're speaking to them, and they'll say, "This is ZQX," and then this is space station such and such. That was absolutely marvelous. that young kid, well, it's mainly old men, to be honest, like us, who get in touch with the space station. That is wonderful. And no, we've all got our hobbies, right? And you know that I quite like communications, and all these people that do ham radio, etc. I mean, in the Falklands, I just found this about the ham radio guys, right, or one of them, managed to communicate with the UK, okay?
Yeah.
And what happened was a lot of the soldiers in the area would come to his house and give him a message and in some way to get back. The military probably weren't happy, but just to say to their wives and that, that's where I stay and whatever, I'm okay. I thought, probably goes against military, but just think the wife sitting there gets a knock on the door or something just to say her husband's okay at the moment, you know, because that was 19. So the Ham's done a great bit of work, and I think that once you get these, John, you go back in and listen. And they're used. Is that you? It's the same in Eastern Germany. The Germans used to, in the Cold War, used to just do numbers across from it, and that was for the spies, and people used to listen into it as well, and they try and sit and decode it. It was a woman, null, and it's all she did, right? A series of numbers, quite fascinating, and that was the spies in the Cold War. So here we go. Now, John, did you have a CB radio?
I did. When I was a hell of a lot younger.
That was modern communications. I liked that as well.
Was a breaker on the side?
I used to have one in Germany. Yeah. Go about with the job. We used to play Fox and Hares, but I think we spoke about that before. So hopefully, what's the weather? My weather has changed a lot. It's now dry. Snow's all gone.
The storm tomorrow, though, aren't you?
Yeah, it was very, very frosty. I was down in Glasgow. Typical me. I turned up at the hotel. This was Mr. Stewart. You'd have been here last night, so we're charging you for the room, and we're full for tonight. But there's a lot of places a mile up the road that you can book into. We'll phone him for you. So I got a room there. I'm glad I went there because it's a big bath and I just soaked in it. But unfortunately, I got a bit of a snivels because their heating went off during the night. And then I was up all night and I woke up at 8 and the thing had started at 8:30. So I missed my bacon roll. But me being me, said to the young lady, could you get me a bacon roll? She went and got it. I don't know what's happened to Stephen. Stephen, could you maybe type in or something, chum? I'd like you to come back for the end of the show for sure, because I'm yapping away here, trying to stimulate John. So tell us how you're getting on with your diabetes, newly diagnosed. How are you getting on?
Well, I went to see the nurse yesterday, not the diabetes nurse, just the practice nurse, to have a little well-man session, and she looked at my results and said, "Are you sure you've got diabetes?" But she took blood, and I also had to take some urine in, and we'll see what they come back with. But my results are generally, yesterday I was as low as 6.8, and the highest I've had for over a week now is 8.9. So
has your eating changed dramatically?
Diet has changed dramatically. Totally changed my diet. I haven't had any fizzy pop, any sweets.
Yeah.
any alcohol since the beginning of the year.
Right. Good for you.
And then the meals I'm having are sensible and not having as big a portions as I would have had in the past. I've also lost over 2 kilos since the beginning of the year.
Okay. So give me your meal for tonight.
We've got chicken tonight. So chicken cooked in the oven with lots of vegetables. The other thing that I've tried, I'm not so sure whether it works or not, is I've bought a bag of mixed frozen vegetables and I microwave those and eat them at the start of the meal. But I have to say, they're not that pleasant.
No. There's a guy I watch Insulin Resistant, and you'll find him on TikTok or Facebook, and he eats everything for you, right? And then he comes back and shows you his sugar level. Takes about 2 hours,
I've
John.
seen him as well. I'm going to eat a banana and see what it does to my And so 2 hours later, here's my results. Oh look, there's a peak here. But if I ate it with peanut butter spread over it, you won't get such a big peak.
It's amazing some of the little things that he does. And so I mean, like anybody else, when you first diagnose, you really take care of it. I've done it since 1992. I'm not on insulin, but I know I'm going to be. And the way life is for me just now, I'm past caring now. I really am. Yeah. I'm just...
It came to me quite late though in life. I mean, I found out I've got diabetes told I've got diabetes on my 69th birthday. So, you know, it's really late to me. I've never ate so much salad. I've developed a taste for peppery leaves.
Okay.
And wholemeal, seeded wholemeal, which I have for the breakfast now, 2 slices of seeded wholemeal toast with peanut butter on it.
Okay. That's amazing because
nut peanut butter, so it hasn't got any added fats or anything.
I find I eat wholemeal buns, but I still, after I eat it, 2 hours after, I'm tired, you know. So everybody's different.
Well, perhaps not the biggest thing to talk about in public, but I don't get up every 2.5 hours to go to the loo in the night. I get up once, and that is a big difference.
That'll be my
so much more refreshed in the morning.
That'll be my problem.
Then the other thing I've started doing is, and I'm not walking anywhere near as much as Stephen does, but round the block I live on, it's 1,704 steps of my steps. And in the morning I walk that way round, so I go anti-clockwise, and in the evening I go clockwise around the route, and I'm doing that twice a day. I know it's not a huge amount of steps, but I definitely feel that it's making a difference. And when I go on the evening one, it's hard work to go uphill. But when I go in the morning, I'm coming downhill with
the steps. John, is that about a mile that you do?
I don't know. I've never thought to work it out.
You can do it on your phone. Right, I'm just watching the time. John, it's nearly getting that time. I don't know if Stephen's coming back in. But
2,000 steps is a mile. And any time you go out of the house is a good idea. Okay, John, it's over to you.
Thank you. So it's goodbye from Stephen, who can't quite see, but he is there, I promise. It's goodbye to my friend in Scotland, who is about to get hit with an orange level storm, but at least his part of Scotland is not in the red danger to life zone that was announced this morning. So it's goodbye from him, and goodbye from me. Same time, same place next week. Goodbye.
Take care, folks.